Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, Haley. I miss you already. Boop. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. We've got a long week ahead of us. Let's get to work. When Josh and I were first starting to look at vans and van life, the biggest obstacle that we came to every time was figuring out how to earn money on the road. Neither of us have remote income. Josh has an established business here. He does painting and power washing here in town and has a pretty established client base here. I have always been in the service industry. There's a little bit more flexibility in where and when I can work than where and when he can work. His clientele is in this area and he gets a lot of his business on referrals. So that does keep us pretty stationary in Columbus as far as work goes. But the stubborn Aries in me was not going to let the lack of remote work keep me from trying van life, and I'm really glad that it didn't. Wow, I'm sorry, this is kind of all over the place. I'm so tired, it's so early. Josh and I do have an extra vehicle in addition to the van that we use more in the city for commutes, work, things like that. So today Josh has the van. He's going to be taking that to work with him so he can keep an eye on Haley throughout the day, and I take the car. I don't really get as many breaks or opportunities to check on Haley and spend time with Haley as he does. So he generally takes the van. I did also do a question and answer on my Instagram yesterday, so I will be looking through those this afternoon and answering some of those in this week's vlog as well. Since we've been in the van, I've worked for the same restaurant, so I would kind of just come and go and they were okay with that. This time around, I started with a new company. I was a little nervous about that, to be honest. I didn't have experience with like telling employers like my lifestyle situation before. So I was a little nervous it would impede my ability to find work or, you know, things like that. That hasn't been the case. My boss has been super understanding. Everyone has been so welcoming. And it's working out great. Oh, I forgot my allergy medicine. So here's kind of the breakdown of my typical work schedule for the week. Tuesdays and Wednesdays I work 8:30 to 5:30. These are like my long days. Thursday I usually work 7 to 1. Every other Thursday, it kind of seems so far, I pull a double shift. So I'll do 7 to 1 at the coffee shop, and then I will do a closing shift at the restaurant and have a small break in between. So that's what I've got going on tomorrow. Fridays are usually my day off, which is really nice, and then I serve Saturday night, and this week I also picked up a Sunday morning. So I'm definitely working more hours this week than I usually do, but I figured what better time to, you know, share all the work with you than when there's just a ton of it. Our work season generally kind of revolves around Josh's business. His busiest seasons are spring and summer, so generally speaking, that's when we will be stationary or semi-stationary in Columbus, and then we'll begin our travels through the late summer, fall, and through the winter. Tentatively, that's kind of what it's looked like for us the last couple of years. And I know living in a van in the city is not necessarily ideal, and that's why we did want to go with the Sprinter van. Our first van was much smaller, and living in it full-time in the city was very uncomfortable. It was absolutely great when we were out exploring, but in our situation that just really isn't the case most of the time. So the Sprinter van really has allowed us all of the comforts of having a home in the city without having to pay the rent prices, which makes it much easier for us to save up much quicker to get back on the road. And living in a van stationary is semi-stationary. We move the van, but we don't like leave town. It saves us a lot on gas. One thing I have heard about people who travel full-time is that the gas money is semi-comparable to rent. The more you drive, the more gas you get, and the more money you're spending. So traveling slowly helps us reduce that cost, and kind of traveling in seasons also helps us reduce that cost. Something to keep in mind. I hate this road. There's always so much traffic. Okay, grab your coffee and lace up those work shoes because we have a long week ahead of us, guys. We have arrived. Does anyone else like to sit in their car for like a couple of minutes just in the parking lot before going in? Because same. It's so cloudy this morning, but usually the sunrise over here when I get here is so beautiful. I am so tired today, guys. Wow. I just made myself my second iced coconut milk dirty chai of the day because we're struggling. If you haven't tried this, you should. The coconut milk has a little bit of a coconut flavor and it's delicious. Freedom! Just finished up at work, getting in the car. Before I can head home, I gotta figure out where home's at. So usually either I'll give Josh a phone call. I also have our location shared with one another in case one of us doesn't pick up the phone, just so that we can avoid any issues of us not being able to get home or to one another. Yeah, so today we're gonna creep on Josh instead of call him and see where he's at. Cool, he's done at work, so he's made his way to one of our overnight parking spots. So I'm gonna go meet up with him. Okay, we just finished up dinner. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed in myself as a chef and a Texan. I ate my last avocado this morning on toast, which was like so dumb. Rookie mistake. I could have had guac on my taco. It was just very plain. It was like missing toppings. The filling itself was good though, so I think I will make it again. Josh, we haven't done a food review in a while. How are the tacos? What do you give it?
That was average, like maybe a 6.
Yeah, you know, that's completely fair. I put very little effort into dinner, but we're fed. I'm gonna work on some editing. I'll see you guys in the morning, a very early morning. I open the coffee shop tomorrow, so I think a 5 a.m. start. Not really sure if I'm even hungry for it this early. At 5 a.m. a wake-up call never really gets easier. Alright, getting ready to head out for my double shifts today. And I'm meeting a friend at the gym on my break. Got all my stuff situated in my bag last night so that I didn't have to deal with that this morning because I knew that I would be tired and probably snooze my alarm too many times, which I did. So I am gonna head out. Josh and Haley, I think, are gonna rest a little more this morning. It's raining today and Josh is working outside this week, so Buddy gets a day off. Him and Haley will have a good day today, I'm sure. You and I are gonna have a great day today. Hi, baby. I just finished getting everything set up for the morning. Obviously, I need my coffee before we get too many customers. I'm gonna make a pumpkin white chocolate coconut milk latte. All right, shift number 1 done. My coffee's open. Having a double dirty iced coconut milk chai again. Oh. Spill it everywhere. I'm so freaking tired today, y'all. I can't even explain it. I even went to bed early last night, so I'm not really sure. He parked like an idiot. So my shift at work today was kind of crazy. Some customers came and got in line in the drive-thru like 15 to 20 minutes before we opened, and then, you know, one car leads to a bunch of cars because they think we're open. So we're just kind of off to a rocky start. I spilled some stuff on myself, so that's great. All right, so I'm on my way to the gym. I'm meeting one of my friends, Haley, there on my break. I gotta be back pretty much right here at 3:30, so I'm like hightailing it across town to get to the gym. I really need a shower. Yeah, so honestly, my hygiene since being back at work has become very premeditated. I plan out my gym visits like pretty much exclusively around when I want to have clean hair and when I know I'm gonna need a shower after a busy day at work. I will say van life has definitely helped me stay motivated to go to the gym because I have to go to have a shower. I've got like an hour and a half total at the gym, hopefully if I can get there in good time. Yeah, so I may have just taken too many things on today. I picked up maybe a couple too many extra shifts this week, and yeah, I'm tired. We're tired here. Oh, so good. Okay, well, I'm gonna drive. Rocking that sick gym fit today. All finished up at the gym and ready for shift number 2 of the day, my serving shift. Took a quick rinse off after my workout. I will say showers are far less satisfying when you don't get your hair wet. I also didn't bring like more makeup to like touch up my makeup, so I couldn't like rinse my face either, which I found really bothersome. So noted for next time. The traffic at this light, guys, never ceases to be ridiculous. Arrived at shift number 2. I can't take you guys inside here. It's just a little bit too chaotic for that. And I'll see ya on the other side. Oh my gosh. I got off early, which is awesome. We were a lot slower than anticipated. So I am headed out, but I got myself a little shifty meal. I got some veggie spring rolls that I'm excited to eat when I get home because I'm starving. Didn't really eat food since I went to the gym on my break. Just got off the phone with Josh to make sure he is where I thought he was, and he was not. So we are now en route to the van and a day off.
Did you have fun? Did you have fun?
Coming at you live from the BMV parking lot. We're getting a couple of errands done. We're in like virtual line, which is kind of cool. So we brought the van and we're just hanging out in the parking lot, getting a couple things done. Got my laptop out. Gonna work on transferring some footage over. Cheers to the end of a very long work week. And happy Sunday, you guys. I wanted to sit down with you guys and wrap up this week's video by answering those questions that I asked over on my Instagram earlier this week. I wanted to know if you guys had any specific questions about how we afford van life or how we earn money to fund all of our traveling. If you're interested in participating in any of these in the future, I ask all of these kinds of questions over on my Instagram stories, so make sure you follow me over there. But I have a couple of really good questions that I'm excited to answer today. Secondhand Alt asked, do you work any through gigs along the way? This is such a great question, and I have a couple of different answers for this. So when we were in Florida this winter, I'll link some of those videos up here if you're interested in watching those, but Josh actually did some jobs while we were down there. So yes, Josh does do work while we travel. Usually the work that he does is for family, friends, those kind of things through connections while we're down in the South traveling around in the winter. And this is something I personally haven't tried, but I'm very interested in trying in the future. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of cooljobs.com. It's something that I'm super interested in trying in the next year or so, but it's an entire website of all these really interesting and unique seasonal positions all around the country that you can apply for. A lot of them are service industry based jobs, serving, bartending, housekeeping, things like that, but they allow you to work in a super unique environment or in a really, really unique location. And I think that would be such an interesting experience, something that I personally am super interested in trying during our next travel season, so keep your eyes peeled for that. All right, next question. Van payments, etc. I feel it nets out to be the same. I would love to see a budget breakdown. So I'm not a super good budgeter, but if you guys are interested in seeing what our van life budget looks like when we're living in the city versus when we're traveling, let me know in the comments below. Those videos will definitely take me some time to put together, but I would love to do that for you guys if you're interested in seeing those, so let me know in the comments. As far as van payments go, we actually do not have a van payment. When we purchased this van, we purchased it outright from a private seller on Facebook Marketplace for $6,000. A van payment, as far as van life goes, is kind of your rent payment, so we have foregoed having to have that payment. I will say there has been a lot of mechanical difficulties that we've come to along the way with this van. So if I were to do it all over again, I would definitely consider maybe buying a newer vehicle on a loan just to kind of avoid all of the breakdowns, because there is a lot of stress financially and otherwise that comes with those situations. Getting stuck out of town, especially when you're on the road, can be incredibly stressful. We have had a lot of firsthand experience with that this year. Yeah, so that's definitely something to take into consideration if you're buying from a private seller. So yeah, we don't have a van payment, which we are really happy about, but we have spent a ton on repairs. So, all right, I've got one more for you guys today. I do not feel like I save any money living in my van versus my apartment. Between gas, groceries, etc., I totally feel that. Gas living in a van is an expense that you don't really realize how quickly it adds up, but it definitely does, especially when you're on the road. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, we kind of keep that cost minimized by traveling in spurts. We have a diesel van personally, so gas is extra expensive. So we do really try to keep driving the van to a minimum. We travel slower, we travel less often, and we travel in seasons. And this definitely helps us reduce that gas price. And it makes van life possible for us at the same time, which is really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this honest look into what van life looks like for us when we live in the city, and how we fund our traveling, and what work looks like living in a van full-time. There are definitely some challenges living in a van full-time in the city and working full-time out of a van in the city, but we are so glad that we decided to go for it and build our van and give this lifestyle a try. Sitting here 2 years later, I can't even imagine what my life would look like if I hadn't have made that leap. So if any of you guys out there are watching, wondering how you're going to make van life work for you if you don't currently have remote work, there are so many different ways to make money on the road. There are seasonal positions, cool jobs, working remotely from your mobile office is always an option. Keep your mind open, stay persistent, and you will make it happen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you next Sunday. Just getting finished. Wow. We travel slow, I don't even remember what I was saying. And as promised, my favorite troll questions from last week's video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should go watch my Hocking Hills vlog. What month do people sleep the least? I had no idea. The answer, February. It's the shortest month. What goes up but still is down? I didn't know this one either. Not crossing many bridges here, guys. Answer, feather. Yep, that makes sense. I always feel so silly because I can never think what could possibly be the answer. Then once you hear the answer, it makes so much sense. I have some very clever trolls on my page here, guys. What? Are you laughing? Josh is laughing.
I'm laughing at your joke.
Lies, I'm not that funny. Okay, troll question. How deep is the ocean? Josh, do you know? I didn't get this one either. This one was good.
I heard the answer.
Oh, you did? Just a stone's throw, because any stone thrown in will sink to the bottom. That's so clever, and that one was from someone in Ireland. How cool is that? Those are my favorite troll questions from last week's video. Good night.